Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, The Magical Maven. My name is Heather, and today I am doing a love reading for the sign of Aries, whether it's your sun, moon, Venus, or rising. So this is going to be for November 2019, or for whenever you're watching. It could be for the next upcoming month, as this reading is timeless. So first we're going to use the romance angels. So for the sign of Aries, November 2019, or for whenever the viewer is watching. Okay. Oh, and also this is a singles reading. Okay, so first we have heart-to-heart conversations. Then we have playfulness, then worth waiting for. So what I'm getting from this is that some of you are already dating someone and there's this conversation that needs to happen. However, even if it's something difficult, even if it's something that's hard to convey, where you have to speak your truth, there is this need to bring this lightheartedness, this playfulness into the conversation. And it's not to say to like go at it, you know, all as a jokester, but it's to kind of break up some of that heavy energy is what I'm getting, because this is possibly someone that either is going to be a potential relationship in the future, or it's going to open you up to the next person, this worth waiting for person. So you know, whether it's that person or someone else, you still have to maybe learn the lesson. So maybe if you're someone that doesn't like confrontation, or for Aries who doesn't have a problem confronting certain things, you know, sometimes, all signs have positive, negative traits. You know, with Aries being more impatient and, impulsive, there's a possibility where, maybe, you go into this conversation not prepared, and you could come off maybe too aggressive or domineering. So maybe for you, kind of like toning that down a little bit, not to tone down who you are, but just to make sure that you're not, scaring that person into submission, where they're either going to run away or it's going to be like a, power struggle. So just kind of being aware of how you communicate. So let's look at the Lovers Oracle. So sign of Aries, Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising for November. Okay. So you have passion. So definitely, like, again, Aries being a fire sign, you're very fiery, passionate. So you have this where you just want to give it your all, and maybe for whatever reason, if you're feeling like that person's not giving it back or isn't like you, and it's not to say that they don't care, it's just we all have our different ways that we communicate, that we love or show that we love. So just make sure that you watch, the temper, the heatedness, and again, take it more lighthearted. We also have life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow, you will be surprised where it leads. So, as Aries being a cardinal sign, and again, also being a fire sign, you like to initiate change. You're action oriented. When you want something, you want it then. But however, that's not always how life works, right? So this is where, this person, it could be very different from you, and you need to go with the flow more. It's like you're not going to get what you want by just like banging your head against the wall, and trying to break through, because this isn't, when it comes to love, it's like, it's not going to be always your way. And not to say that, not to call anyone out or saying that that's how you are, but definitely, understanding the sign of Aries, when you do want something, it's like, you feel like you have to have it then, right? Okay. For some reason, I feel like I need to go with one more card from the Romance Angels. So sign of Aries, November 2019 singles, or for the next month for whoever's watching. Okay, trust. So yeah, for sure, like, this situation is calling for you to have trust, to have faith. And not just, you know, yourself, but also like a higher power. And it's interesting because I just saw at the bottom of the deck is reconciliation. So for some of you, you actually, this could be someone even from the past that you dated, and that this, you know, this conversation comes through, and it could come out of the blue even. I'm really being drawn to the blue tones in this card. And, you know, you're like, wait a minute, like, why, you know, why are you coming back now? Why are you know, you here, you know, and I'm just getting like this like attitude coming through. And not to say that that person for whatever reason might not, you know, they might have that coming. Who knows? You know, I don't know your, you know, each person watching this, your situation. But that's not to say, like, regardless of what someone else did, you still have control over what you do and what you say. And that's, you know, are you going to be the best version of yourself, regardless of what this person did? If this is someone that you just need closure with, have that closure, be the bigger person, you know, even hear them out, because maybe this is going to be something that helps you wrap that cycle. Because, right, we got life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. So maybe this is something that needs to be closed out for you. On the other hand, there's some of you that maybe you might reunite with this person, and maybe that's where that trust is. If you've been wanting them to come back, maybe here they are, but you need to make sure you convey things in a way that's not going to cross the line, push the boundaries, push them away. I'm getting this push energy. So, yes. Okay, so we're gonna look at the Heal Yourself Oracle deck to kind of see maybe if there's anything that's coming through in love that could be preventing you from moving forward with this person or someone else. What's a possible block to love for Aries? Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising. Oh my God, have faith. Okay. So we have trust and faith right here. I mean, I think that's a pretty clear message, right? And I feel for some of you, maybe feel like you lost your power, and maybe that's what you felt you lost with this person. Like you felt like you were out of control, like they, you know, it was all like the ball was in their court, right? And maybe, you know, you feel like you've been wanting them to come back for a long time, and they've never done anything or showed they cared, or there's different scenarios coming through, but maybe you feel like, you know, they just walked away and they took the power with them. And, you know, that's kind of maybe where you feel, but you know, you could still stand in your power. No one, you know, takes away your power unless you allow them to. So just remember that. And I'm getting that there's a new opportunity or possibility coming for you as well. It might not just even be in the realm of romance. So just keep your like eyes open and your ears like just pay attention is what I'm getting. And I'm getting like, yeah, you could be lost in the clouds or feeling lost in the clouds, whether that's now or for this upcoming month. You know, with the energies coming through the cards, you know, if this is something that, you know, the cards, you know, could show like past, present, future energies. So whether, you know, this is already past or this is happening now or it's coming, just take it how it resonates. Not everyone is always going to resonate with every video, as they are collective readings. And then again, like I said, like you'll want to check out your other placements. When people say what your sign is, that's just your sun sign. But then, you know, looking at your moon, your Venus, and your rising could help too. Okay, and then we have love and courage. Okay, so Aries is a courageous sign, right? You know, you have the balls to do things. Like you're, again, action-oriented. Like you're not afraid to take charge. However, this person might be the one that needs that courage, you know, and that's kind of, you know, maybe this is you waiting, and then this person, you know, is looking at you from afar or looking, you know, at you, even if, you know, you're at a distance, you know, whether this is their, you know, spying you on social media, or that's just that you're always like in their mind, or they have, you know, like a photo of you that they look to, and you're just not seeing it. But again, it's because it's going to take a lot for them to maybe push through because they're afraid. Okay, so we're going to look at the Black Moon astrology cards. Ooh, I'm going to put those back for now. Okay, this is popping up. I'm going to put it back though, just because a lot came out. Water element. So some of you could either be a water sign or could not, you know, like again, like if you say you're watching this because your Aries rising, you know, your sun could be a water sign, right? So whether you have water in your chart or maybe the other person's a water sign. And it would make sense because with the going with the flow, like maybe there's someone like, you know, a Pisces, for instance. Water signs, you know, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Okay, and now we're getting air as well. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay, so sign of Aries. Okay, interesting. Okay, so Capricorn came out, which is an earth sign. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So a lot of signs are coming out, but just, you know, take what resonates for you. But this is a sign that is highlighted. Oh, and then earth element, stability. So definitely, like if you are the fire sign and this person's more earthy, more grounded, you know, very different energies. And it's not to say that you can't work together, because any two signs could make it work. It's, you know, because compatibility wise, I mean, again, we have so much more that goes in our chart besides sun signs. And then even if your charts aren't compatible, that doesn't mean you can't make it work if you want to, right? So yeah, this person might be really practical, logical, but I'm getting determined. Or maybe, you know, if they weren't in the past, maybe this is now them coming through wanting to give a solid offer or wanting to make amends in a healthy way. Because if this wasn't a healthy partnership before, or, you know, dating wise, if things weren't balanced, you know, they weren't really showing up for you, maybe this is them finally wising up. Okay, so I'm going to pull an archetype card to kind of see maybe what personalities are coming through. So even though this is a singles reading, we're definitely getting obviously someone like a past energy. Okay, so tell me more about this person from the past that could be returning, or that you need to have this heart-to-heart with. Again, some of you could be already dating them and you're having maybe this hurdle, but then I was really getting drawn into the past. So but we'll see what comes up, else comes up. Hedonist. So yes, definitely this person, maybe they didn't want to settle down before because they, you know, maybe they slept around a lot or liked to date around a lot. And, you know, you just maybe weren't having it, you know, you just wanted to be with them. And maybe this is now them wanting to have something more solid, more stable, you know, not to be that, you know, player energy. Maybe now they're like, okay, I've, you know, had my fun, you know, and now, you know, this person is still with me and I, you know, want to reconcile. Or again, maybe, you know, if they're still this person, maybe they're just coming through to, you know, give you an apology to kind of, again, for closure. Okay, so we have the Queen. And the energies could be reversed too, so this could be about you or it could be about them. And this doesn't mean, you know, it has to be a woman. You know, if you're, you know, watching this for a man, this could just, you know, it could go either way, Queen, King. So maybe this person, I am being drawn to like someone could have had a big ego, or someone could have, I'm getting even spoiled, possibly. And again, it could go either way. And I'm also getting that this could be how they view you, even if you don't see it that way. And for some of you too, it could be that you feel like this person needs to treat you like this, how you deserve to be treated, and they just haven't treated you for your worth. And maybe you didn't recognize your worth before, or, you know, for whatever reason. Again, a lot of different scenarios are coming through, so you just have to take what resonates. One more. Okay. And also I was being drawn to how both these cards have red in them, which is, you know, very Aries color. But red, the color of the root chakra, deals with our security or stability. Fear blocks the root chakra. So again, there could be this fear in this situation, or there was that fear that was clogging the connection, because fear and love are opposite vibrations. Okay, and then we have Prince. So again, more royalty cards. Okay, so this could be something too. So maybe you were this queen energy, whether you're male or female, so queen or king, and they were the prince or princess, and you weren't on the same level. You know, they weren't on the same level as you, and maybe now, you know, and maybe that's why you walked away, or they walked away because they were fearful, knowing that they didn't think they stood a chance, and, you know, they had to rise up. You know, again, like, and I'm getting for some of you, you both walked away. Like, I'm seeing like being like walking in different directions. So even, you know, they could have been the one that was like, okay, you know, I'm going to walk away because I know I'm not there. And you could have walked away because you're like, okay, well, no, they're not at my level either. And again, it could go, I'm getting more of them being the one that was like in the fear. So, and I'm getting like that some of you are saying like they messed up. So if that resonates, there you go. Okay, so from the Gilded Tarot, we're going to read more into the situation. So for those of you who this person is from the past, you don't have communication with them, tell me more about the situation. Okay, that was a lot of cards. Oh wow, Ace of Wands. So a new beginning. So is this new beginning with them? Or someone new? Okay. So I asked if this new beginning was with them or someone new. So with them, it does show the Page of Pentacles, Lovers, Hangman. So this could be like, you know, obviously the communication coming through. It might be even slow moving, and maybe that's also where like that heart-to-heart conversation, maybe it won't come in right away. Maybe it's going to take time to build to that. Maybe it'll be some like text messages or, you know, so forth, like in between before you actually have that talk. And, you know, you're going to feel like, why is this taking forever? Why can't we just have this talk? Why can't we move forward? And this is where maybe like you have to make the choice of, do you want to be patient and, you know, pull through and see what they have to say, hear them out, or do you want to move on? But when I asked about a new person, you got Ten of Swords and not King of Wands. So I said Five of Wands. For some reason, King came to mind, so that could resonate for some of you. So with this energy, it's like it doesn't really show maybe you're not in a place to move on to someone new, because you still feel defeated from the past. You're still very stuck in this energy of the old, of the past. So if this is you, not that you can't have a new beginning, but it's still like you have to clear this energy out. You have to deal with this first to be able to make room for someone new. Okay, so for those of you dating someone currently, and maybe you're struggling with them because there's certain things you need to discuss, and maybe they're, you know, you feel they're taking their sweet time, and there is a, oh, wow, okay. My deck, literally, I was shuffling, and like half the deck flew across the floor. And so I'm just gonna read them from here, the ones that I see. So we have the Ten of Cups. We have the World on this side over here, and then across over there I'm seeing the Devil, the King of Pentacles, Empress, and Page of Swords. So so on one hand, this person can make you very happy. You see like emotional fulfillment with them. You could see like you going the distance. But on the other hand, you're just so sick of putting up with them in ways. And maybe, again, it could be that patience thing. You know, I'm getting patience as a virtue, and maybe, you know, and also the way you communicate. Again, that's like a barrier that's between you. And I'm getting like you could be hot-headed, and that's kind of also, and then they like take that as, you know, they could take that as drama because they're feeling like, oh, you know, they're going to go off, or, you know, they're too emotional. And, you know, like, because to them, maybe, you know, they could even be detached from their feelings. But again, a lot of it is you just see things differently. So on one hand, you might really love them or really care for them, and you're like, yes, this is what I want, this is, you know, what I feel. But then on the other hand, it's like there's communication issues, there's just different ways of living or lifestyles, and you're kind of like, we're not really compatible, but I really love them, or I really feel a connection here. So that's also part of the battle that is coming up sorry. I just figured, you know, they wanted to fly all out, so I just read them from here. Okay, I was getting something about taking turns. So maybe if there was that imbalance before, maybe this is where, you know, some things are going to shift, because now it's like, okay, and this could be about communication too. Like, you know, maybe like if one of you were always the one to reach out, maybe it's like, oh, like there's going to be more of a balance in taking turns. Or I'm also getting about clarity coming through. So once you have these conversations, you'll be more clear on the situation. But again, it's like you have to kind of let again, that hot-headed fieriness, and not to say like that's all good and great in certain cases, but like with this person, with this situation, you know, again, like you have to be more grounded. You have to not let your emotions get the best of you if you want to have a conversation with this person to possibly reunite, or at least to have your closure. So then you could be open to someone new. Okay, and then 5 of Swords, 2 of Wands, 9 of Cups. Ooh. So again, it's like making this choice, and it's between okay, well, that could say something right there. So the 2 of Wands, we had the 9 of Cups, and then we had the 5 of Swords. So again, with what I said, that this is like what you're wanting, because this is like the wish fulfillment card. So again, with the 10 of Cups and the world was on the floor, this is what you're wanting. But on the other hand, you're like, is this really going to go the distance? Is this going to happen? Is this going to work? Because we just don't see eye to eye. We don't get along. There's been a lot of conflict. And that could be in the past even, because, you know, you don't, depending on your situation, depending on how long ago this was, you know, you could have changed, they could have changed and grown. And maybe again, like if you're really going to come together, things could be different. But again, it's like there is this choice that is being highlighted. So I'm getting that, not to read into it further, because you have to kind of see, you know, once they communicate or you communicate, depending on if you feel you need to reach out, just go from there. Take the, you know, the steps to kind of seeing what happens and comes about, because again, it's going to differ for each of you with your free will choice, what you decide to do. But we're going to read one last card for the Romance Angels. And I know, I think a lot of you are going to be confused or like by this, because I think you were already in confusion, and then this is just, you know, if you're like, I want answers, but again, that's where you can't always get things right when you want them, and you need to be patient. And I understand, I have my moon in Aries, so I'm not saying anything that I get it, believe me. Very interesting. So we have forgiving and learning, engagement, and separation. So definitely a lot of you watching this have someone from the past that you're still, I was getting harboring feelings, but then I'm also getting resentment. So again, that like, I love them, but I, you know, and not to say hate, but like definitely those two energies that are very, you know, it's like, okay, I want to be with them, but I don't. So that could be that confliction as well. But definitely this is where an opportunity for at least for you to forgive, to heal, to move on possibly. Or for some of you, you know, maybe having a commitment with them finally. Or, you know, recommitting and it being on more solid ground this time. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this reading. And again, like, feel free to check out your sun, moon, Venus, and rising, because there might be, maybe your rising sign, for instance, or your Venus sign, for instance, video might resonate more for you, or it could be, if you look at them all together as a whole, you might be able to find more of a story for you in particular. And I also have other videos up, so if you want to check out, my channel, The Magical Maven, I have different pick a cards. I do also twin flame and light worker videos as well for each full moon, as well as the beginning of the month. So I wish you all a great November, or whenever you're watching this, and I send you love and light.